carrier markup enhancement is quite a large one, so bear with me while I go through this, but it's a very exciting one. So, as Dave alluded to, we now have the flexibility, similarly to the rate entries, to create separate markups for freight, fuel, and accessorials. We've also introduced the ability to do something that we're calling kind of a blanket markup. So for fuel and accessorials, you're able to select an accessorial, and then if you'd like, find a specific accessorial such as a liftgate pickup and change the markup strategy for that, so you can charge a little bit extra for certain accessorials that might be a little bit more handling and therefore you want to charge more for it. Or you can create an accessorial that has no accessorial selected in the lookup field, essentially a blanket markup for all accessorials. You can do the same thing for fuel. We've also added some new markup fields, so effective date and expiration date, as well as the minimum load weight, so you can create a markup for something that's 0 to say 500 pounds, or you could create a separate markup for a shipment that's 500 to say 1,000 pounds. Again, just offering increased flexibility on how you're structuring your customer pricing. We've also introduced SMC3 specific freight markups, so you can specifically add markup for a minimum rate differently than say the floor or the tariff rate. Again, just allowing you for more flexibility. So to hop into a load so you can see how this is actually working in the real world, I'll go into the FQA, and you can see on the carrier quote, we got back 6 different carrier quotes. On the customer quote side, you can see that there is a customer quote number. On this one, it's 113. And then we also have a new carrier quote lookup field. The reason that this field is populated with the carrier quote is because we use that carrier quote to generate the customer quote using those markup strategies. So, as I hop between the different carrier quotes, you can see the customer quote number will change, and then also that carrier quote number. Also, if I scroll down here to the pricing notes section, we've added lookups to those specific markups. So you can see what markup was used for the liftgate pickup, as well as the one for the freight charges and the fuel and surcharge. If I go ahead and click on this fuel surcharge markup, it'll bring me to the individual markup, and you can see that this is a global markup group. We included some enhancements to the cascade logic that we have for markups so that you can do a global markup for, say, fuel and accessorials, so that all of your customers are charged at a global level for the fuel or accessorial, but then giving you the flexibility for the freight to charge your customer specific markups. Again, just allowing for more flexibility there. To show you what a load with the stored rate and a markup strategy in one customer quote, I'll pull up this load, which you can see we have a stored rate of liftgate. Again, that's just going to allow you to say for liftgates for this customer on that lane, I'm always going to charge them this flat $150. But for the freight and fuel, I want to apply a markup, so it's going to be a flat percentage. Lastly, we added a pretty nifty little button here on the carrier quote where you can just select add to customer quote, and it'll search the system for any applicable markups that meet that liftgate accessorial. So you can see for this one, the margin that you'll gain for the liftgate delivery is $9.